Hey everyone, Harlequin here. Wanted to do a little match review for you. This is a game that I had just played. Now, this is something that I've been curious about doing with you guys just because it gives me a little more time to talk and explain out my actions. Um, Obviously, one of the biggest compliments I get on this channel for Atlas Reactor related content, I'm going to change the view on there, is that I consistently speak about my thought process when it comes to moving, how I move, and my recommended positions for situations, stuff like that. You guys really seem to enjoy that. So I thought maybe I should do something like a match review and kind of go to, you know, to how it's supposed to be done. In a way that I can speak more on this. So we're going to be spectating, like I said, my recent match. This is a ranked match, just so you're aware of. And this is me playing as Gray. As you may have noticed, I've been spamming Gray like crazy. In the ranked series, I'm going to try to change it up, keep it a little more fresh. But off recording, I am spamming nothing but Gray pretty much. Gray if I'm DPS, Zuki if at the chance, and Asana. Now this is an opening I've talked about plenty of times where I move to this location as either Gray or Grimo. It's one of the best locations to move to in my opinion, and usually throw out Hawk Drone. You're generally guaranteed to hit somebody. Not many people will crowd out over here anymore, at least not in the current chapter. I was gonna say current season, but really it's the current chapter as the meta changes as chapters go. Things are nerfed, buff, all that. So as the current chapter goes, it's a little more common to go on this side or whatever. However, I believe I get three here with Rio, which is crazily that's really crazy that I got all three. But luckily that's what we got. Now I moved over to the left position. This is a move that I've been favoring a lot more lately, just because it usually gets me in the back line. However, this is one of those off situations where both their assassin, quote unquote, and frontliner jumped at me or sprinted towards us. Now you can see what I'm going for. I'm going for the tranquilizer dart onto Kaigen to reduce his damage output, assuming he would jump to me since I'm near Titus. What makes sense is Titus throwing a dagger at me, Kaigen jumping at me, and then that's an easy combo to get me just about half health. Actually, I think that would be half health. No. Just a little bit above half health. But they don't go for it. You see, Titus goes with the basic attack, which does take cover damage because of that. I get healed up from Aurora, so it barely did anything. And he takes damage. Now, I'm going to miss my shot, obviously. And then I throw Trank at Kaigen, which helps Zuki avoid a lot of damage. So overall, this ended up working out kind of okay. Despite the fact that I missed my dart, or my bolt, this ended up working out just fine in our favor. So as you can see from here, Surin they have a Surin support. Now I'm going to pause it right here to kind of point out the fact that when you have a Surin support, you need to be around the mid to front line. Being this far back means you're doing nothing, absolutely nothing. Unless you're throwing out a might and you want to do it from a safe location, then that's fine. But other than that, you need to be around this area, around the mid to front line area. And this is where you can kind of, I can kind of draw. This is why I wanted to do these little review here. So here's how their current setup has. They have both their damage dealer and support over here. Now, obviously, their damage dealer has about that far of an area, so to speak, give or take. And of course, Kaigen here with his dash, he can dash to either one of these. So you would say Kaigen has about that threat. And then Titus, oops, I moved the map. Oh well, I moved it a little bit, but Titus is obviously, he can dash, but he cannot hit me if he dashes. He could dash to Asana, but that's crazy. His best bet is to dash over here or throw dagger. So you would say that he could kind of go either one of these places. Now the problem is again, they have two of their damage dealers over there, and it does nothing for them. On the other hand, we have Zuki, who, as you can see right here, can damage just about anything in this area, except for if Kaigen just happened to come up there. Now, of course, for me, I do believe Drone is off cooldown. No. Drone wouldn't be off cooldown because I didn't hit him that turn. Or would it? No. I don't know. Either way. No, Drone is still on cooldown. Yeah. With the way that landed, Drone's still on cooldown. But I have just enough of a shot to just clip Titus. This provides a problem for them. Now, if these two had moved up a little bit more forward, like had they been in this position or even moved up over here, then they'd have a much better area of hitting either Asana or myself. And more importantly, had they moved to the right, they would have had Zuki and Aurora. This is like a mess of stuff. So we'll take that off. We'll play it out. But this is where you draw lines. Like this is about the midline right here is what I would call that. But that Surin's not here. Blackburn is too far to really do anything meaningful. Kaigen is surrounded by our support and a damage dealer, and Titus is surrounded by our support, frontliner, and me. So what do they go for? So Kaigen goes, that is hilarious. Kaigen goes for the jump over here onto Asana, which if you saw if you saw before this happened, Asana healed herself here. So that means Kaigen's going to get knocked back. Now, Asana went for the... Aurora, sorry. I keep calling her Asana. Aurora, gosh. I'm going to get yelled at in the comments, I know it. Now, Asana did the smart thing into trying to lock down Titus. Lock down their front line and don't let them do anything. And luckily enough, that means that Titus is now locked down. But Surin jumped in the way, so now she's locked down. Now, right here is actually a very dangerous position. This is where when you get to the higher level play, you'll have everyone who's roughly thinking on the same spectrum, and they can annihilate you in a snap. So let's look at damage sources here. Alright, anyways, sorry. Kaigen is a big damage threat. With shurikens he's got 20 direct damage, 5 for additional, and of course if he's void mark. Now he does 5 additional damage, but no longer increases the damage when hitting multiple shurikens. So he's got the mod to where basically he'll hit 25. So that's 25 damage. Blackburn can hit for 25, or I think for 32 is his basic. So that comes out to, if you total those two, that's 32, 57, something like that, in that area. And then I think her basic attack is like 60 or something like that. Now, if Titus was just barely, just one square up or right here or anything like that, there's a chance that I could be annihilated right here. However, thinking on that line of thought, Asana is in a very dangerous position, but she has shield, which she uses smartly. Without Titus being here, I'm in no threat. There's nothing that they can do to actually kill me, but they could have chunked my health. However, I see the opportunity, instead of jumping away, to go ahead and do more damage with Joan, get 3 shots off, which totals up to, I believe, 36 damage total. And the fact that I would get, let's see, 4 times 12 energy from that. So suddenly, I'm gaining so much energy so quickly. Titus finally decided to use his dash in an awkward two square dash area, which is really strange. So I don't happen to touch him, which is fine. The fact that I don't touch him is made up for the fact that Titus only went 2 squares. Kaigen here, because he spent his jump on Aurora, is in such a bad position here. Now we'll pause this one again. Now Kaigen, because he jumped here, was such a bad position. His better option was Zuki to get out of the fight. He was already in the middle of a damage dealer and a support. The fact that he jumped to the support to get even deeper into this area, which with Asana right here, me in the area, he literally puts himself between our whole team. This is why he gets punished the way he does. Aurora did the smart thing in healing herself, knocking him back. And Kaigen now has no escapes except for his dash catalyst. He's got nothing to do, so he tries to come in and get some damage done. But now he's between Aurora, he's between Asana. I'm in the area, though I will jump away, obviously. This is a very dangerous position for me to be between Blackburn and Surin. Just as I was saying about him being between them, I'm not going to make the same mistake, so I'm jumping away. Now, of course, Blackburn could hit me. Kaigen cannot hit me. His basic attack doesn't go that far, and he's got no cooldowns. Titus has no way to hit me. The only one who can hit me is Blackburn, and I'll live through that with a good chunk of health still remaining if he does happen to hit me. That's even if he predicts where I'm jumping to. So we'll play this out, and of course Zuki way up here. But again, a lot of people just don't understand, because Zuki, you know, is all about explosiveness. You might as well call Zuki a sniper. She has such huge range, with the fact that it's not only this line, you have to account for the circle. So essentially, she's right here. She can hit to the edge of where Aurora is. That's how long Zuki's range is. It's insane. Now, as you can see what I was talking about here, you heard Blackburn. He went for the shot. The fact that we didn't see it come off screen, I'm assuming he shot like this or something, or either this way, which is weird. I don't know what he was thinking there. I assume he wouldn't shoot over here, but anyways. Now, as I was talking about earlier, Kaigen put himself in such a bad position, so he has to use Fade. Now, the good thing with Fade is we know that Fade, you don't have much range. You're pretty much in this area. That's it. Now, it would kind of be crazy for him to go here, because Asana can hit him. He can't go anywhere around Asana. He'll get hit. That eliminates these squares. Now, because of Fade's range, he could technically go over here, but he's got to account for the fact that Aurora can use her flare and hit in that area. So that's even a crazier place to go. Plus, that also eliminates this area. So his only chance of escape is here or here with Fade. And obviously, he's not in that square. There's Blackburn. There's the thing. He hit Asana. He didn't do anything, so I guess I didn't pay attention to it last time when the game was going on. And there's Zuki doing more damage to Titus. There's Asana with the cleave on Titus. And there's Aurora with even more damage on Titus. He's now half health. Their frontliner's half health. Their damage dealer pretty much has no escapes. We know more or less where he's at. Now this comes to setup where I'm here. I'm going for the guaranteed shot onto, not the guaranteed, but for the just in case shot, I guess, so to speak, onto Titus. I know Kaigen's either here or here. I can't reach either one really. And I don't want to make the 50-50, so I'd rather just get him, and if he blows his shift, then we got his shift down. If he doesn't, then hey, we got his we'll chunk his health out pretty much. Yeah, actually, he would die. No, he's at 85. He wouldn't die, but he would be chunked pretty low. So with this thing, it shows us where he's at. Or excuse me, it shows us that he got he had Fetter, but it didn't really matter that. So Kaigen, this shocked me even right now at this moment. I knew he ended up here. I could have sworn he ran from here. I must have really not been looking. So that means Kaigen did go over here and just barely missed Asana's cleave to hit him. Here's where the question comes. If you're in a foggy area, you might as well stay in that foggy area, sprint upwards maybe, which he would have died if he did. But he doesn't go for either one of those. He sprints to the left. This is Kaigen's downfall, as you can see. Now, I would understand if he sprint to a corner and then left, or even just stayed there. Like, if you're surrounded at that point, you might as well just try for the outplay and stay where you're at. You're invisible. We would not see where if he stayed here, we would not see that he was here still, because he wouldn't have moved. No, none of us would have known he was here. And he would have been safe.
Set the spirit ablaze.
You stop.
My gifts for you.
And notice, I don't believe it's showing pings. I'm pretty sure we were pinging like crazy by this point. Sana jumps to Kaigen with Fetter, and I believe both Zuki and me take him out pretty much.
My gratitude.
Yeah, Kaigen at this point had nothing. He blew his dash. He blew his dash and his kata early. He's got no escapes, and that leads to him going down. Yeah, I decided to throw drone because I realized that Zuki was gonna have enough damage, and I wanted to get more damage / energy on everyone else. Now I have ult, Zuki has ult, and Asana has Aurora has ult. Excuse me, I keep calling her Asana. I'm sorry, Asana. Just your name's Asana Aurora. That's so close. So we go for this play. Now let me explain why I do what I do here. Now I decided to go ahead and throw it on Cage. One, because we're at turn 9. I have a chance of getting it again one more time this game. So I decided to go ahead and take the risk and do it now. Blackburn should be in this area somewhere. From where he was at, he shouldn't be over here, obviously. He could be here, and it's a risk I'm taking, but I'm assuming he's against the wall over here somewhere. Notably, right here is where I thought, right where that dot is. Now, I decided to use Cage because in my mind, he's not expecting it. In my mind, Titus is likely going to throw Dagger, I didn't think he would dash into all of us because that would be insane, especially when they're down a man. So I assumed he was going to use dagger. So I assumed Titus has no reason to dash away or anything. He'll stay in that spot. So with that being said, I decided to throw out the might, throw out the cage, and of course, just in case Titus throws out that dirty fighting and he happens to blast me or someone else by that point, I assumed Asana, then it would be weakened. It wouldn't be as much damage procced. So there's the might, there's the trank dart. Titus tried throwing his little dagger and just hit the wind.
What strengthens me?
Enjoy your new
Surin dashed, which probably smart, because if she didn't dash, if she did anything else, she likely would have ran through the cage. Blackburn ended up not being where I thought he was going to be, but luckily for me, he still ended up in the cage. Surin effectively blocked Zuki's shot, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that could have been what Surin was going for, was blocking both me and Zuki, but ended up being not the case. Now, I'm not going to pause this one because I just want to point out, what am I doing? I have an Aurora healing me. Why did I even go for this health? Especially with the fact that she needed it way more than me. That was a complete dumb mistake on my part. So right here, I'm deciding, okay. So again, ooh, wait, hold on. Pick that up. Pause that real quick. So again, as I was talking about, when it comes to battle lines, guys, and positionings, you have to understand which position is better for you to go. Now you see, I moved here. It's gonna keep moving to him. You'll see that I moved. Right here. And that's actually kind of a mistake. I think the better option would have been moved right here, but I wanted the range to be able to throw out drone next turn to hit these guys. But anyways, I decided to go right here, and here's where we can draw the battle lines. Again, you want to go by the range they have. So range, you know, that's about his range. He's got dash, so really he can go anywhere. Chances are he's either going to go there or there if he dashes, which is the only ability he has. And Surin, being that she just dashed on an enemy, means she's likely going for one of them two. So that's why I said it would have been better for me if I had moved here. I could have even moved right here, kind of in the open-ish, but being right here is a little too close. So we'll see how this plays out, obviously. There's the two dashes. As kind of expected, Titus had nothing else to do. And he dashed really deep, and he could get a really good ultimate because he dashed so deep. So ended up working out for us. Aurora trying to go for the two-man snare, didn't happen to get it, and Blackburn was a little too far. So now right here is where I'm confused on what I want to do. Drone is over here. If I throw drone in this area, I would hit those two, or I can hit these two, or I can go for just a bolt onto Titus. Not a bad idea to bolt Titus. My one problem was Surin. Who would Surin ult? I worried about this because I assumed Surin's going to ult herself. She's a support. She's in the middle of three of our people. Damage dealer, Asana, and then Aurora as well. Both the A sisters. And I was like, she's got to ult herself. So I decided to take the safe option, and I'm going to go for Titus. Nope. Surin decides to shield Titus. That actually caught me off guard. Smart move. He's a little bit more of a threat. We're lucky that Aurora here managed to get the weaken on Titus. Zuki got some great damage onto Blackburn and Surin. But right here, I believe I typed into chat, uh-oh, because I was a little worried about that. We just popped all of Surin's shields, which means the damage from that ultimate is going to be incredible next turn. There's Zuki going down. Again, you may not expect when you're actually going to get bursted here. Now here, I had already, as soon as I saw that his shields were popped, I had already immediately thought I'm going to likely have to dash if he comes anywhere near me. He won't have his charge, so I was grateful that he wasn't going to be able to get me for sure. What I didn't realize until this moment when I was looking was that he didn't have his dash catalyst either. And luckily he had used it earlier and I had kind of forgotten about it, but I was panicked at the moment. Then I realized, oh, then all I gotta do is get out of here. So I'm gonna decide here to go ahead and fade away. I believe I have fade, and fade away to the right. That way he won't hit me. Fading to the right means that there's nothing Kaigen can do to hit me. And of course, because I'm fading, they have no idea exactly where I went. Only the AoE in which I couldn't be, which was here. And assuming Kaigen uses a normal attack, this area as well. So really the only area for me to go would be over here. Kaigen, on the other hand, decides to go for this ultimate, as you see, and manages to hit Aurora pretty hard here.
Don't worry, it tracks friendly.
There's Blackburn with the ultimate trying to execute me. Titus. Now, the funny thing about that is I should have gotten chunked here and or revealed. Blackburn ulting right here made no sense. Let me explain here. So let's do this way. So Blackburn ulted I'm gonna move that way. Ulted these two areas right here. These two square lines. This doesn't make any sense. This is where you have to pay attention to the enemy and your allies' damages. So had Blackburn taken into account that Titus already had a ring of damage going around him, and you can see it, he would see that it was big right there. Surin's thing is huge. He would see that I couldn't have faded anywhere over there because I'm using fade, and there's no way I would go here. So obviously either I'm using shift, I'm using fade, I could be using regroup. Blackburn I wouldn't have even ulted to begin with, but if he was going to ult and if he assumed that I was going to go ahead and fade and or shift away, he would have to pray that I did not have regroup. Then the better ult is here. You wouldn't want to waste it here. I can understand maybe he's thinking I jump to the other side of this wall right here, but that would be a little crazy. I want to be away from it. That would reveal me by taking the buff. I'd rather be here. Now obviously he doesn't have enough to kill me, but he would have revealed me. It would have gotten me very low, and overall it ended up would have being my downfall here. Now Osana did something that I didn't realize last time, was take down Surin. I didn't realize that she was low. So Osana with a really good ultimate ended up taking out Surin, healing me in the process, and of course dealing damage to, I believe, Titus. I don't think she dealt damage to Kaigen. That ended up being really good. Kaigen pops up here. Kaigen does something a little weird here.
He's caught the scent. Get him.
Throwing out Rio. Was hoping to hit Kaigen, I didn't. Kaigen throws daggers that way. Now, if he knew he wasn't going to hit Aurora, which obvious right there, he should have spread them out. Not only that, he's got the mod where it doesn't matter if you hit them all, that multiple shurikens on the same target doesn't do more damage. So when you have that mod, you need to spread out your shurikens. Even if you're only going to hit one person, spread them out so that way only one hits that person. Then there's no reason for you to hit multiple people, the same person with multiple shurikens, because it's not going to do any more damage thanks to that mod. So he actually could have hit and revealed me, but he didn't.
Straight to the depths.
Excuse me, guys. It's been a long day. All right. Zuki is in a really bad position. So we're gonna go back to what I was talking about earlier when it comes to battle lines. Here's our effective area group range. Here's Zuki. Here's their whole enemy team right there. Plus a Surin up there. Zuki is effectively cut off from us. Now in this situation, you'd be saying, well, she's dead and done for. There's nothing we can do. She's gone. But Zuki, of course, is going to go ahead and fade and try to get away anyways. Now Blackburn, if you're smart right here, you're going to go for the wide shot because of the fact that you realize Zuki's cut off from our team. She's going to have to try to shift or something. If I were Zuki, I think I'd try to go this way. But just because you want to get out of his shot, you know Kaigen's likely going to throw shurikens because he's not in the range to hit you.
Succumbing to me.
So then you move over here to kind of circumvent that. Now, as you saw there, now that everyone's used their moves, none of what I thought was going to happen happened. So again, I would have jumped over here or faded this way because it's next to Kaigen. One of those outplay moves where Kaigen, there's no reason for him to use his basic attack, his basic ability, because he wouldn't hit Zuki there anyways unless he's hoping and praying that she jumps to him, next to him, trying to do an outplay. He would shuriken, and again I believe he did the same problem where he shuriken in the same, like, overlapping. Again, spread them out if you're gonna have that mod on. But so he kind of makes a mistake there where he didn't spread them out properly. Again, wouldn't have hit her no matter what, is my point. But if she jumped over here, you likely wouldn't have hit her as well. Blackburn made the mistake of not shooting an AoE, considering that he should have known that Zuki was gonna jump away. She had Catalyst, she had jump. He should have went for the spread shot. As far as Surin goes, there's not really much she could do. She's just trying to jump in and get on the fact that hopefully she can jump on Zuki the next turn. Big one drops down here. Now Titus jumped over here and just happens to be the bearer of unluck. I wouldn't have jumped in. There was no reason for him to jump in right here. It was absolutely crazy for him to just jump in right here. But he just also happened to be unlucky where he ended up being in range of both Asana and myself for our range attacks. I can see how maybe I wouldn't have hit him, but if you saw the way I angled just in case Surin happened to jump in a weird direction, because I was expecting Surin to jump on Asana. Obviously not me, because I was hidden. I was expecting her to maybe jump on Asana, and I was hoping to catch her on a weird angle or something, so I barely edged it on her hitbox over here. And Titus just unlucky. Had I hit her direct on, which is what a lot of players do, and I never recommend, then I likely wouldn't have hit him and he would have lived. But still, the point is, Drone's right there too. He's still going to take damage, likely from Asana. You're likely going to take damage from Asana. She's got her range attack. She's going to do something. She's not just going to sit there. And then you're jumping into Rio, which is a guaranteed 12 damage at least if I'm not tracking you. So you're effectively saying, hey, I'm going to jump in front and do damage. But even then, there's the fact that he should realize Surin's going to jump away. You have to watch your allies' abilities. You have to watch what's going on the map. It's not always possible, I understand that. Shoot, you guys see me play. I'm not always watching what my allies are doing, but it's one of those things where if you want to be a really high-skilled player in this game, in Atlas Reactor, you have to pay attention to everybody's abilities. And I know you only have 20 seconds, but just try your best. Try your best predicting where people are going to move, what they're going to do. And this is where communicating pre-chat goes. And obviously, as you can see here, you can't see any pings. You can't see the chat box, which is sad because I was hoping to showcase that to you guys on how well you can communicate in game, how well you can ping who to kill, where you're going, what you're doing, chat in game, little quick messages. I even have that tips video that's out on this channel about communicating. There's 40 damage onto Asana. Zuki jumped away. And right here I had pinged everyone focus Kaigen. I don't believe we have enough damage this turn, but Kaigen makes the wrong mistake of thinking that I was going to move super far away. So he moves that way. So I decide that I'm just going to hit him. He's got nothing to survive. There's no way he can survive me. So I'm going to hit him, and then I'm going to move to the left, I believe. I think I move up here. Oh, right here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and pause it. Aurora's doing something weird and moving backwards. I think that's a little weird because Surin blew her jump. So Surin's not going to hit Aurora or jump to her or anything like that. And I'm not sure why... Restart Gaming, by the way. It's pretty good. So... go blame him on Twitter, by the way. Anyways, I don't know why Aurora went this way. It's kind of a weird move to do, in my opinion. Kaigen's dead for sure. Surin's not going to reach her. It's kind of weird. Asana decides to go deep. Zuki's moving up a little bit. This is a risky move right here that Zuki's doing. I would say right here, a little bit more back. But I understand Titus is spawning right here. Blackburn here. Actually, just the fact that Titus is spawning right here, I would not move right here. This is a really, really, really dangerous spot to be. Here maybe, because Titus, if he were to focus Zuki and say like, hey, I'm going to jump on that girl, I'm going to follow her, she's likely going to be in this area or something, move back, move him towards us, so that way we can surround him, kill him, and everyone will be happy. Well, everyone on our team, not the enemy team, obviously. Kaigen at least does damage before he dies. Now he spreads out the shurikens. In case I jumped away. At this point, it's 4-1. Titus decides to move one spot.
3 turns left.
This is weird. Titus goes around to here. I mean, not that it mattered which way he went. Point is, he went right here, which is a really weird position. I'm not super low that it wouldn't matter if he jumped on me. And there's the fact that if he wants to kill somebody, his best bet is over here with his damage dealer and then his support not too far behind. Now, again, let me talk about this again. Su-Rin still doesn't have any jump, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, we can look at that here. Yeah, still no jump. She's right here. I don't think she has a jump. Hold on. Does she have jump? No, just want to make sure. Oh my gosh, blue team. Okay. Su-Rin's right here. This is her area. She's not going to do anything else here. And we all know that she just jumped recently. So it's on cooldown. That's it. She's not doing anything. So, as Titus, you want to move here to help your damage dealer. He's already in a bad position. He's by another damage dealer and by a frontliner with ultimate. And of course, I'm in the area and I also have ultimate. He's got to be super careful or he will die this turn. Luckily, luckily for Blackburn, he realizes that. Titus is lucky he didn't just move one square over and get hit by Rio. I would have laughed. So Zuki tries to go for Sticky Bomb. Now, right here, I would have realized that if Blackburn's going to dash out of the way, he's likely going to dash towards health, so I would have Sticky Bomb this way. I believe the chat in this situation was Titus was going to Dirty Dagger Zuki, and then Blackburn was going to attack her, which would proc the Dirty Dagger, Dirty Fighting, whatever, damage. And that's what happened. They had good prediction on what was going to happen. However, they assumed that Blackburn was going to go for a straight shot, which Asana here was just here to block it. That's it. We're up by a lot. There's very little chance that they're going to come back on this, but Asana tries to go for a block. Blackburn kind of played that smart going for the AoE shot to guarantee the proc hit. But if he really wanted to focus that, if he knew Titus was going here, he might have just wanted to dash this way. He did have enough dash this way. I think from right here, he could have dashed onto the might buff, but he didn't. So, you know, boo-hoo there. And he would have had Titus at his back. This actually would have been a very great spot. Could have got direct damage on Zuki. She would have taken a lot more damage. She still would have lived, but she would have taken a lot more damage. Both frontliners decided to dash into the supports. Zuki with a great AoE rocket gets kind of nullified by the fact that Su-Rin had heal, and then they get some pretty decent damage on Asana. And as you can tell, this is likely going to be the final round of the game. So we're just thinking of don't die. We're just saying just don't die at this point. We're 4-1. It's fine. None of them are low enough that we can really kill them. So this was pretty much a throwaway turn. I was ulting onto Blackburn, who I thought was up here. I think he ends up being like right here or something, like right at the edge of my cage. Now, I was a little worried that Blackburn, Kaigen jumping on me could do something. But the only way that works is if Su-Rin could might Kaigen maybe. And I knew that I saw that her might was down. So I was just fine. And even there's the point that even if she had mighted Kaigen and they both jumped on me, I don't believe it's enough to kill me. Like just barely not to kill me. And
Whatever it takes to run down
yeah, see, I just threw away a catalyst. I didn't really care. It wouldn't have been enough to kill me, but even if they did, they would have done a lot just to get a 4-2. So it was, like I said, it was pretty much just a free turn, guys. But that's it. I know this wasn't probably the best of match reviews per se, for a couple reasons. One, it's like super late for me. It's been a long day. I've been up for going on not 20 hours. Okay, that's crazy. 18.5 hours now. And this is more or less right after this game happened. I'm sad I can't show y'all the score things, but I think you can see that in the match lobby. So I'll go show that to you. But yeah, guys, of course, now that this is more or less over, like I said, I'm kind of rambling here. This is not a professional video at all. Please don't. But I wanted to kind of have a little taste of what was going on. So as you'll see here, obviously there's a reason why I decided to give you a match review. I promised y'all that if it was gonna be a match that I was gonna rank up, I would record it. Problem being, guys, I spent multiple times throughout this day today, well, from the time you see this video yesterday, playing on and off, as you'll see here, just in and out of, yeah, here we go. These games I played today, And 3 losses in a row hurt. But it said after this second loss, I took a shower, went to go walk, ended up eating dinner and all that stuff. You know, all that annoying stuff, right? Eating dinner. I lost on my first game back, but it wasn't a super important loss because the fact that we lost this game so badly, I didn't really care too much. But this is a game we just watched. 303, damage 354. Zuki doing work. Zuki is ban worthy, guys. If you want to ban somebody, ban Zuki right now. Zuki, of course, did work because that's who Zuki is. Now on their team, Titus got the most damage. Kaigen sitting barely almost at 300. And Blackburn at 280, just under him. Super unfortunate that Kaigen just ended up getting outplayed pretty hard in that opening, and that set them behind from the start. I'll go over mods real quick, but I've done this so many times. My gray mods never change. Cash Descent, hitting a target with Tracer Bolt reduces the cooldown of Hawk Drone. Hawk Drone can attack invisible enemies. Tracer Dark includes a slow along with the weak and reveal. Slip Away has the invis, so that way they don't know exactly where you're going. And Voltic Cage has the reveal inside. I use this pretty much every time on gray now. There's almost not a situation where I wouldn't use this. Just because of fog, it's useful if you're hitting people in fog, if people happen to fade away. It's also useful for Kaigen, Nyx, those Pup, those invisible freelancers. So super useful, guys. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about these little review videos. They are obviously going to be longer. I'm expecting about 30-40 minutes each. Hopefully, if I do another one, if you guys would like to see a little more professionally done one, it'll be something where I've pre-planned, I've watched the game multiple times, and there's also the chance that hopefully maybe I can bring in someone else, maybe another high elo player, to come in and chat with me about the video, about the game, and see what their opinions and what their views are. But this is something you guys want to see in the future about reviewing matches, getting a little more in-depth than what the ranked videos already provide. Then feel free to comment below, or just like the video if you don't want to comment or anything, just like the video. That lets me know you like it. Dislike it if you're like, nah, not really my style, I just want to stick with rank. And that lets me know as well. Disliking the video doesn't say you hate it per se, it just lets me know it's not your thing. It's not something that you came to this channel for. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great, fantastic rest of your day. As of right now, I'm going to upload this, then I'm going to go to bed. And by the time you're watching this, I'm probably going to be eating breakfast with my kiddos. See you next time, guys.